This is a global news update on top accolade news. The headlines: Moldova accuses Russia of plotting election interference. Trump warns India of 25% tariffs. Trump considers keeping G20 summit over rift with South Africa. We start today with the focus in politics. Moldova accuses Russia of plotting election interference. Moldovan President Maia Sandu issued a stark warning on Wednesday accusing Russia of preparing to interfere in the country's upcoming parliamentary elections in September. Speaking at a press briefing, Sandu said the biggest threat facing the vote are electoral corruption and illegal external financing, pointing directly to the Kremlin's alleged effort to exert control over Moldova. She described the interference plans as unprecedented and called for greater vigilance to safeguard the country's electoral process. In economy, Trump warns India of 25% tariffs. President Donald Trump has warned India it could face tariffs as high as 25% if a trade deal isn't finalized by August 1st. Trump criticized India's long-standing protectionist trade policy, calling the country a big abuser and tariff king. While both sides have engaged in months of negotiations, sticking points remain, particularly in agriculture and dairy. Indian officials says they are optimistic, emphasizing the need to protect millions of small farmers. The U.S. currently runs a $45 billion trade deficit with India, and Trump says he's determined to level the playing field by opening markets more broadly to American goods. Moving to international relations, Trump considers keeping G20 summit over rift with South Africa. President Donald Trump signaled he may skip the G20 summit in South Africa this November, citing deep disagreements with the country's policies. Trump criticized South Africa's domestic and foreign stances, including its land reform efforts and its genocide case against Israel at the International Court of Justice. Tensions have escalated in recent months, with Trump slashing U.S. aid and publicly clashing with President Cyril Ramaphosa over what he called very bad policies. If Trump follows through, a delegate would attend in his place, further straining U.S.-South Africa relations during its G20 presidency. Still in international relations, UK pressures Israel with Palestinian statehood ultimatum. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has warned Israel it must take concrete steps towards peace or face the UK's recognition of a Palestinian state at the UN this September. The ultimatum comes amid growing global outrage over images of starving children in Gaza and warnings of an unfolding famine. British officials insist this is not a reward for Hamas, but a push to ease suffering and revive the two-state solution. While France has already pledged recognition, Israel and US President Donald Trump have slammed the proposal as misguided. London is urging Tel Aviv to lift aid restriction, halt West Bank annexation, and recommit to peace negotiations. You're watching the Global News Update on Top Accolade News. Do stay with us. Still to come. Thanks for staying with us. In environment, Nuremberg Zoo faces backlash after killing 12 healthy guinea baboons. A zoo in Nuremberg, Germany, has sparked outrage after killing 12 healthy guinea baboons due to overcrowding in their enclosure, with the animals subsequently fed to predators. The decision, defended by the zoo as a last resort aligned with European Zoo Association guidelines, led to protests and the arrest of 7 animal rights activists. Critics accused the zoo of irresponsible breeding policies and called the coup avoidable and illegal. The controversial move echoes similar actions in European zoos, reignited debates over ethical animal management in captivity. In disaster, tropical storm slams eastern China. Eastern China braced for impact on Wednesday as tropical storm Komei made landfall in Zhoushan, forcing the evacuation of over 280,000 people and the cancellation of hundreds of flights and ferry services in Shanghai and nearby cities. Though weaker than a typhoon, Komi brought intense rain and wind gusts of up to 83 kilometers per hour, prompting road and rail speed restriction and flooding warnings. The storm's arrival coincided with tsunami alerts following a powerful 8.8 magnitude earthquake near Russia's peninsula, though those warnings were later lifted. Despite heavy rain and disrupted transit, many attractions like Shanghai Disneyland remain partially open, while authorities continue monitoring potential storm surges and water levels. Turning to entertainment, Australia adds YouTube to teen social media ban. Australia has reversed its earlier decision and will now include YouTube in its upcoming social media ban for users under 16, citing concerns over harmful content and the platform's impact on children. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said the move underscores the government's commitment to protecting young Australians following a regulator's report that found 37% of minors encountered harmful materials on YouTube, the highest among platforms. YouTube, owned by Alphabet, pushed back, insisting it's a video sharing site, not social media, and hinted at possible legal actions. The new rules, effective in December, require platforms to take reasonable steps to restrict underage users or face hefty fines. Now in sports, Bayern Munich signed Luis Diaz from Liverpool. Bayern Munich have secured Colombian winger Luis Diaz from Liverpool on a 4-year contract, and the transfer reportedly worth around 75 million euros. Diaz joined Liverpool in January 2022 from Porto and made 148 appearances for the club, scoring 41 goals and assisting 23. The winger played a key role in Liverpool's 2023 Premier League title win and other domestic trophies. In an emotional farewell, Diaz paid tribute to late teammate Diego Jota. Bayern's sporting director praised Diaz's quality and experience, saying he will be an immediate asset to the club. That concludes our global news updates for today. Stay tuned for more global news and developments. Thanks for joining us. I am Ojorume Okocha. Connect and engage with us on all our social media handles. Do have a wonderful day.